yo! So, welcome back to the AAHL M25 TZC Paper 1 walkthrough. In this video, we're gonna go over questions 10 and 11 of the paper. Part A. The three terms are arithmetic. The sequence is arithmetic if and only if U2 minus U1 is equal to U3 minus U2. So 3 minus 2k minus k minus 5 has to be equal to 5k plus 3 minus 3 minus 2k. And I'm just going to quickly do the algebra here. Yes, this is k should be 0.8. Okay. Hence, find the value of U3. Okay, so U3 is 5k plus 3, or 5 times 0.8 plus 3, or 7. 5 marks. What is this? Part B. Consider the case when k is equal to 12. If k is equal to 12, U1 is 7, U2 is negative 21, and U3 is 63. We're going to find U2 over U1, that is negative 3, U3 over U2, that is also negative 3. The two are equal. Therefore, it is indeed geometric. Done. Part 2. Given that UN is geometric, state a reason why the sum of an infinite number of terms of this sequence does not exist. Okay, so we found that the common ratio is negative 3. The sum to infinity only exists if and only if the absolute value of r is less than 1. In other words, r has to be between negative 1 and 1. Since negative 3 is less than negative 1, S infinity does not exist. Does not exist. Done. Part C. The sequence is geometric for a second value of k. Okay. So, it is geometric if and only if U2 divided by U1 is equal to U3 divided by U2. So, in other words, U2 squared is equal to U1 times U3. U2, U1, U3. This is a book standard question, people, so I would expect most students to be able to solve this question well. Minus 25 plus 3, that's minus 22, minus 15. So k squared minus 10k minus 24 is equal to 0. So we would get k plus 2, k minus 12 is equal to 0. So the order value of k is negative 2. If k is equal to negative 2, the three terms are consequently negative 7, 7, and negative 7. The last part of part C. Find the sum of the first 2m terms. The sum of first 2m is the sum of an even number of terms, right? But we know that U1 plus U2 is going to be equal to 0. U3 plus U4 is also going to be 0. U5 plus U6 is going to be 0. So the sum of any even number of terms will be 0. And that's why it is a write down question. They were not expecting a lengthy explanation. And that is the end of question 10. Moving on to question 11. This one is on vectors. You're asked to find the coordinates of D. So let's do that. Since we know that it is a parallelogram, vector AB has to be equal to vector DC. Pay attention to the convention here. It's A, B, C, and D. Vector AB, -3 minus 1, -6 minus -4, 2 minus 0, and this has to be equal to -1 minus x of d, -2 minus -2 minus y of d, 4 minus z of d. So point D is 3, 0, 2. Second part. Oh, sorry, part B. The diagonals intersect at point E. It's a fact that the diagonals of a parallelogram will intersect at the midpoints of the diagonals. So E is the midpoint of AD, of AC. Therefore, we can even write down the coordinates of E. That's gonna be 0, -3, and 2. Part C. So AB cross AD. We have AB from part A, that is -2, -4, -2, and 2, cross AD. 3 minus 1, 0 minus -4, 2 minus 0. Cover the first row. We would have -2 times 2 minus 2 times 4, so -12. Cover the second row. -4 times 2, that's -8. Minus 2 times 2, that's would be -12 in total. It is the second row, so we invert the sign. Third row. Cover the third row, we will get -4 times 4 minus -2 times 2. Just -16 plus 4, or -12. And we can take the 12 out. That would give us 12 times -1, 1, and -1. Thus, M is 12. C2. Hence, find the area of a parallelogram. So we know that the area of a parallelogram ABCD, the area is gonna be the same as the magnitude of AB cross AD. So this is gonna be 12 times the square root of -1 squared plus 1 squared plus -1 squared, or 12 root 3. 8 marks. Done. Moving on. We know that the normal is -1, 1, and -1. Therefore, the equation of pi 1 has to be -1 times x plus 1 times y minus 1 times z is equal to a constant. Let's pick the easiest point. Let's say A. We know A lies on pi 1. So we can just plug in the coordinates of A. X is equal to 1. Y is equal to -4. Z is equal to 0. -1, -4, D is -5. Thus, the equation of pi 1, we can write it more nicely, is -x plus y minus z is equal to -5. Any equivalent answer will be accepted. Part E. You're given the equation of pi 2, and you're given that the acute angle between pi 1 and pi 2 is theta. So this is a book standard question once again. The normal factor for pi 2 is 5, 1, and -7. So the dot product, we know that n1 dot n2 is equal to the magnitude of n1 times the magnitude of n2 times cos of theta. So cos of theta is therefore n1 dot n2 divided by magnitude of n1 times magnitude of n2. n1 dot n2, that would be -1 times 5 plus 1 times 1 plus -1 times -7 divided by the magnitude of n1, root 3, the magnitude of n2, that is the square root of 5 squared plus 1 squared plus -7 squared. Upstairs, we have -5 plus 1 plus 7, so that's 3. Downstairs, we have root 3 times root of 75. Root of 75, that is 5 root 3. That cancel out, you get 1 by 5, as requested. The last part of the question introduces a line L. Now this is where sketching the graphs, sketching the problem can be very useful. We're given, this is pi 1. We're given the parallelogram ABCD. We're given that E is the midpoint of this. We are also given that L is through E, and L passes through E, and L is perpendicular to pi 1. So that's L. And it is in the same direction as the normal vector of the first plane. We are also given the second plane. It doesn't matter how you sketch it. Let's say it looks somewhat like this. And you're asked to find the point of intersection F. So really, this question has two parts. How do you get the equation of L1? And from there, how do you find the coordinates of F? So let's answer the first question. From part B, we know that the coordinates of E are 0, -3, and 2. -3, and 2. We also know that L1 is perpendicular to the plane, to pi 1. Thus, the direction vector of L1 is the same as the normal vector of plane pi 1, as the normal is perpendicular to the plane. So the equation of L1 is therefore x, y, and z is equal to 0, -3, and 2 plus t times and 1, that was -1, 1, and -1. We now need to find the intersection. Pi 2 has equation 5x plus y minus 7z is equal to 1. So I'm just gonna plug in these values into the equation of pi 2. X is -t, y is -3 plus t, and z is 2 minus t. Solving this linear equation should take you about 5 seconds. 7, 8, 3, right hand side, we should get 18, t is equal to 6. Therefore, the coordinates of f is -6, -3 plus 6 to -6, or 6, 3, and -4. I would say this is a very well written question. Even if you cannot find the cross product, you can still use it to carry on with the question. There's a lot of shortcut parts, and I would say that this question consists of nothing more than the basic techniques